Hey guys, welcome back to Heart Breathings. I have not treated myself to a coffee all week, but we have bad weather rolling into Charleston and all over the Southeast. So if you're in these storms, I hope that you stay safe today. We're going to talk a little bit about Camp NaNoWriMo, what it is, what I'm doing a little bit differently this camp than I did in November so that I avoid burning out, and whether I'm going to be doing vlogs and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in hanging out for a bit and talking about Nano, just stay tuned. You could tell the weather's bad because my hair just totally deflated when I walked outside, but it was worth it. Okay, so over the last couple of weeks, I have posted a few videos on the book that I will be working on for Camp Nano. So I'm going to post those down below. I go through basically how I set things up for my 4 points of view, how I set up my entire plotting planner and my sprint goals and things like that. So if you missed those videos, definitely go and check them out. If you followed along with the NaNoWriMo diaries for me in November, you know that I was actually working on this book, Fate's Surrender, for all of November, for a good bit of last year, and then it didn't quite work out the way I hoped. I had the book on pre-order for December, did not quite hit my goal and make that. So it ended up coming out. It is finished in January. So I ended up working on this for most of December and the first part of January to get it out on time. And I'm very proud of it. Thank you for everybody who supported it and bought this book. It did end up with a few bestseller tags there on Amazon and in the top 40 books in all of Apple's bookstore. So I was very excited for the release of this book. But because that book was delayed, it sort of pushed back some of my schedule for this year too. So I've had to adjust and sort of change things, but I have found myself in a strangely similar situation where I have now an entire rough draft to finish for Vengeful Darkness, which is book 11 in my Shadow Demon saga. So if you're not familiar with my book or you just found me, my name is Sarra Cannon. I am an indie author, 100% self-published author, and I've been publishing since 2010. And the first book that I published was book 1 in this Shadow Demon saga. It was called Beautiful Demons. And if you want to check it out, that book is actually free to download. So I'll leave some links down below for that as well. It's a young adult contemporary fantasy series that starts out all in one town, and then the world gradually gets a lot bigger as they travel to the demon world as well, the Shadow Demons world. So book 10 of the series, Deceiving Darkness, came out in fall of 2018. So it has been a very long time since I was able to continue this series. There are 2 books left, and these are going to be tough books, but I've been working on the plot for these and the character arcs and the ideas pretty much consistently for 2 years. I just will go into periods of time where I'm like, okay, I'm going to look through this. I'm going to write down a lot of stuff. I've been reading back through the old books. So I feel really good about where the story is. However, I have not actually started writing the book yet. And it is due for pre-order again on May 11th. And it's currently middle of March. So all that plot work. Now, my process is always that plot takes a long time. The rough draft usually comes very quickly. But as you guys saw in November, sometimes every once in a while, something gets stuck because something is off with the plot or the expectations of the book, and I get stuck. So when that happened in November, I basically suffered from some burnout, some severe disappointment, and mild depression over that. So my December was a little bit rougher than I wanted it to be. And then January was kind of off to a slow and rough start. I had to really take it easy with myself to not fall into too deep of a burnout. So I needed a bit of a break, to be honest, from the writing. But now that I'm into it again, I want to make sure that just because I only have a month to finish this rough draft, that I don't burn myself out. Now, if you're watching this and you've participated in NaNoWriMo National Novel Writing Month, like the big event in November, you know that the goal there is to write 50,000 words a month. You can't set a 10,000 word goal. It has to be 50,000 to actually win officially. And because of that, a lot of us tend to push really hard and burn ourselves out. And so if you have fallen into that cycle in the past where you kind of burned yourself out in November and then weren't able to get back to that book for a while, I encourage you to spend this camp really thinking of not just the goal that you have, but also how you can support yourself to get back to a place where you're really enjoying the writing and not burning yourself out just to hit really big word count goals. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So another question that people have had for me is, Sarah, are you going to do daily Camp Nano vlogs? I wish that I could, because I actually, even though it was a bit of a devastating roller coaster experience in November, I actually really enjoyed making those videos, but I can't commit to that during camp. So camp happens twice a year, in April and July. I plan to do maybe weekly vlogs, and I'm just going to play it by ear and see how it feels and see how it goes. Because like I said, I'm really focused in on my own enjoyment of this writing experience and this book that I've been waiting so long to really immerse myself into. I just am determined to love every minute of the process that I can. And that is going to mean not beating myself up with negative self-talk, not feeling outside pressure to record a lot or, that kind of thing. So probably weekly vlogs, but we're going to play it by ear. But if you're interested in seeing those vlogs, definitely hit the like button on this video and make sure that you're subscribed. In one of my previous videos of my plotting notebook, I showed you guys that I had created these word count trackers. So these are free to download when you join my mailing list. It's just in my resource library that I'll send you. But basically, one of the things I have done is I have played a little bit of a math game with myself, and I've said, okay, this book is going to be about 100,000 words. And so I have taken that and divided it by my average words per sprint. There was a time when my average words per sprint was more like 1,000 words a sprint. I am not there right now. So I'm at more like maybe 650 words on average per sprint, which is still really good. So I'm estimating that it will take me about 140 to 160 sprints to finish this novel. I begin writing the book tomorrow. So we have in my Facebook Writing Sprints group, we have weekly or monthly virtual retreats. So it just so happens that tomorrow is the beginning of our March virtual retreat. So I'm going to use this to kickstart the book. And what I'm hoping for over the next 3 days is 25 writing sprints. And as you can see from this column, if I can pull that off, I'll be somewhere around 16,000 words into the book. And so one of the ways that I'm hoping to support myself during this Camp Nano is to take it one step at a time. And instead of thinking about like, I've got 100,000 words to write over the next 6 weeks, I'm instead saying, okay, tomorrow I need to, if I'm going to write 25 over the weekend, I need to write about 8 to 9 writing sprints a day. So thinking about 8 sprints, that's about 4 hours of work. I'm going to be running sprints from 9 to 11 tomorrow morning. So that's 2 hours or 4 sprints. So I'll just add in another hour in the afternoon and another hour in the evening. So spreading it out rather than expecting myself to have these really long stretches of productivity is one way I'm supporting myself. And then in the in-between times, I've got a few plans for how I'm going to support my mental health. One being, I'm giving myself permission to go out and get a coffee if I want. I've set aside a little bit of sort of like spending money for myself. I can't do it every day. I don't want to spend that much money every day, but I am going to allow myself a reward. So maybe on Saturday, if I've hit 16 word sprints between Friday and Saturday, I'll give myself a reward of a coffee. So setting up like micro rewards or mini rewards of coffee or getting to sit and watch a movie. Also, another thing is gaming. So I recently took the top 10 games that I own but haven't played yet but want to play and put them into a jar. And that has helped me just kind of getting my mind off of my story world and immersing into someone else's. I also have spent some time playing EverQuest 2, which is, of course, my favorite MMORPG from the OG days when my husband and I met playing that game. My son, who is 8 years old, almost 9, has been playing that game. So I've been playing some with him. So that's kind of my plan, is to spend time in between the writing instead of focusing on courses or extra videos or anything. I'm going to give myself complete break time in between writing. And I think that as as somebody who kind of runs multiple businesses or has multiple aspects to my business, this is coming at a good time because Publish and Thrive, which was incredible, is now over. HB90 is running this week and we only have a couple days left. So that means for the month of April and really most of Q2, I get to focus on my writing. So I'm really going to give myself that gift. Another thing that I'm doing besides taking, like, what I would suggest for you if you're looking for that, because gaming and coffee like may not do it for you, but make a list of maybe 10 things that you feel like really support you in terms of making you feel better, refilling the well, just kind of giving you an extra boost. It could be a nap, it could be journaling, it could be going for a walk, but something that's very non-work time. It could be art journal, it could be playing in your planner, it could be knitting or sewing, whatever it is for you. Make a list of at least 5 things, maybe 10. And then when you're done with a set of sprints, so say you have to do 8 a day, sit down and do 4 back to back or 3, and then take a longer break and pick one of those things off your list that just makes you feel joyful and kind of rejuvenated for a while, and then come back to the writing. Try that out if you've been finding that you get burned out doing like 8 or 9 sprints all at once. You could also, if you enjoy that focus time of 8 to 9 sprints, do that and then set aside a big chunk of time, equally as much, to do something else like binge watching a show or exercising, going for a run, whatever it is that really makes you happy, and think about that self-care. Some other ways that I'm supporting myself this camp, because I have a plan, I'm going into this with a very clear plan of how to support myself, is I am drinking a ton of water. So off of Amazon, I bought a gallon jug of water. And what I've been doing is filling it up from my water filter every night and putting it in the fridge so that it's nice and cold, because for some reason I just really like cold water. And then I start my day every day with a big glass of water, and I try to make sure I've drank at least 20 ounces of water before I even am done with breakfast. And that's been helping. So I've been drinking, I can't quite drink the full gallon usually most days, but I've been drinking at least 75 to 95 ounces of water a day, and it's making a difference in how I feel. So like just those kind of health things to support myself. The other thing I've been doing is I've been working out every day, and I'm not really a person who enjoys exercise traditionally, but I've been kind of at first having to sort of force myself into moving my body and doing some things. And what's actually happening is I'm starting to look forward to it every morning. And that is boosting my energy throughout the day. So exercise, eating right, drinking healthier, drinking lots of water, or being healthier in those ways kind of counteracts the sitting down for long periods of time, drinking the coffee, you know, whatever it is. So it's kind of finding that balance between the two. I also am setting up various plans for how I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time with the kids. So 4 sprints, and then I'm going to play with the kinetic sand or something like that with Andrew. So we've made a list of things that Andrew and I can do, just the 2 of us. And my husband and I are committed to taking the kids either out to our local park or just out here behind the house for at least 45 minutes to an hour every single day if the weather's nice. And if not, being inside and playing in like Evie's bedroom or something. And I know that that is just going to make me feel connected to my family unit, even though writing is such a solitary event. So those are the ways that I am planning to support myself and really make NaNoWriMo the very best it can be. I don't know yet exactly what my goal is going to be. So talking about camp for just a minute, I'm going to walk you through how you set up a project, because Camp Nano used to be set up on a separate website from the regular Nano, but last year they combined them. So if you want to participate in camp, you just go to the normal NaNoWriMo.org website, and like I said, I'll link that for you down below, and I'm going to walk you through real quick how to sign up and set up for a new project. Okay, so I will link this website for you down below. This is just the NaNoWriMo.org website, and this is a page they have on the website talking specifically about Camp NaNoWriMo. So they have you here, they talk about the old website and they talk about how you can participate, but I'll walk you through that in just a second. Then they also show you down here that, like I said, You can't make any other goal right now than a word count goal, but you can use this little conversion. So if you're setting an editing goal, track the number of words on the page you want to edit. So if you want to edit 50,000 words, then you just track every new word and every edited word as your edited words. So just the total number in your manuscript is the words. Time goals, you can use your word count goal to track your minutes. So every minute you work toward your goal equals 1 word. So if you want to work 60 minutes a day times 30 days, you would set an 1,800 word goal, but you're really meaning 1,800 minutes. In terms of page goals, the average words per page of like a script, for example, is 250. So just take your page count goal and multiply it by 250. So if you were going to write 100-word script, for example, for a movie or a play, and you were going to try to set your goal for Nano, you would just say 100 pages times 250 words per page is 25,000 words. So that's how you convert that. And the cool thing about Camp Nano is that you can do that. You don't have to actually set a 50,000 word goal. So that makes it a lot more flexible. And you can spend this next 30 days editing the book that you wrote but maybe didn't finish back in November. This also tells you a little bit about writing groups and things like that. You can join now as many groups as you want, and the group is between 3 and 20 writers. So it's just basically like a little chat room. You used to only be able to belong to one cabin, but now you can join groups and you can keep talking to those groups for months to come. So it's pretty cool. Here's something I wanted you to see. So you can tell that last July I had planned on writing Fate's Surrender. It did not go so well for me. I ended up not writing at all in July for various reasons, but you could actually use that same project for a new camp, but you still have to announce a new project. So you go to announce the new project, then you title it. So you could title it whatever the name of your book is. You can put it right now that you're prepping it or you're drafted, it's already drafted, and now you want to work on edits. You can also set the privacy so that only your buddies or nobody else can see it, what type of project you're writing. And then what you want to do if you're writing this for Nano is you want to say associate with a Nano event, and then you will go in and you will say which event it is. So obviously Camp NaNoWriMo April 2021 is not on here because I already have mine set up. But if you are going to set up yours for the first time, Camp NaNoWriMo April 2021 will be the first option here for you to choose. And then you just click onto your goal and set your goal. So it's pretty easy to set it up, but just remember that you won't be able to go back to say your NaNoWriMo 2020 book, even if it's the same book, and keep working on that project. You'll have to start a new project and then label it Camp NaNoWriMo, even if it's already in progress. So that will give you an idea. Also, I wanted to just look at this. So I've done Nano for 13 times at least, and I've written 948,346 words throughout Camp and NaNoWriMo events. So it is highly possible and most likely that I will hit 1 million words written during Nano events at this camp, which is pretty darn exciting. You can see that it's really one of the cooler things about camp is that you don't have to set a 50,000 word goal. You can set an editing word goal to work on the project that you didn't finish from November or something that you're carrying over. And you could set a blog, you could write, say you're going to write 50 blog posts. You're going to write all your social media captions. Like it's much more chill. You don't have to actually be working on a novel. You can be doing edits, a screenplay, a bunch of short stories, and you can set a goal more like 10,000 words if that feels more achievable for you. And you still can be a winner and you set your own personal goal. So it's a really fun experience. You can join groups if you want to. Now you can join as many groups as you want, and you can, of course, continue to hang out with the community and participate in live writing sprints. If you want to join my Heart Breathing's Word Sprint group, I'll have that linked for you down below as well. It is a Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, I do have a Discord server, but I haven't been sharing that widely on this channel because it's a fan group and I don't want it just completely taken over by authors. But if you are also a reader of my books, you can reach out or go over to my Sarra Cannon YouTube channel and find links to that Discord server there. We do run some writing sprints in the Hardy's Hangout over there as well. So like I said, I'm hoping to share with you guys some maybe weekly vlogs. I'll also be starting a new series on great ideas coming up. I don't think the first video will still be for a couple of weeks because I'm working on the big workbook that's going along with that, but look for that in a couple of weeks. I think next week I'll talk about my Q1 goals or my Q1 review and setting up my Kanban board for Q2. I'm really excited about Q2 because we've got camp coming up. I get to work on my favorite series I've ever written, and I get to spend a bit more time hopefully with my family because I won't have courses going on as often, the big course going. So lots of fun stuff. Plus we are seeing our house go up before our very eyes. I'll pop in a quick clip here of the progress we've seen so far on our house. We have watched it go from nothing but dirt to now we have almost a roof, and it's just so fun to see it. But by the end of Q2, we might be moving within a month after that. So lots of fun and exciting things happening. I want to make sure though, as I go through this, that I am really focused on my own joy, because I became a writer specifically because I love writing. And so every time I feel the stress and the pressure of the selling part of books and the business part of books start to steal the joy, I have to kind of recenter myself. And it is something I have to do every few months. But here I am recentering with the joy of writing. And I'm so excited for Camp Nano. If you are participating this year, please go ahead, hit a like on this video, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you're working on. And hopefully I will see you in our Writing Sprints group this weekend if you'd like to come join us. Otherwise, I will see you guys in this next video and hopefully in several NaNoWriMo vlogs to come. Be sure to check out my videos on setting up my plotting planner or flip through of my plotting planner. And if you guys would like to see more about my plotting wall and how it begins to progress through the writing of a book, let me know and maybe I can get a video on that as well for you soon. Okay, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.